All right, Hafa and welcome to your sports show, everybody. I'm Jason Salas, your 671 sports nerd. Now, you know, one concept that we throw around every so often in sports is the expression of moral victory, right? Remember, like Rocky in part one? Rocky did not win. A lot of people forget that. Like Apollo Creed actually beat him. Now, the gentlemen I have here are part of Team Fish On. They competed recently, this past weekend, in the Perez Fishing Derby. Did not win the Fishing Derby, tragically.
Right.
Because they did not make the time, because they were fighting this monstrous fish, and now they are Instagram famous, TikTok famous, YouTube famous, internet famous. Team Fish On is here. Captain Robert Vasquez of the ship The Chief.
The Chief.
The Chief, there you go. Matt Diaz is here.
Yes, the angler.
All right. The angler and the first mate, and Matt Muna.
Matt Muna.
There you go. Okay, so guys, you reeled in an 832.5-pound marlin, right?
Yeah, that was.
Robert, tell me about like what that experience was like, and did you even expect to do that?
Yeah, so every time we go out to the ocean, it's always about being ready to get the biggest fish that's available, and what can we do, making that right decisions when we do hook it up. There's been many times where we lost a fish, but we can always talk about a story about losing the fish, and then the true story is you never brought that fish up, so there was never a fish. So,
literally the one that got away.
Yeah, that got away. We always talked about that, but I've gone through catching marlins many times with Mark Muna, people like with Mark Muna, James, Uncle Mike, right? Mike James.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I know Mike.
John Hattig.
Good guy.
You know, and guys like that had brought us on the boat, brought both of us on the boat, and all of us on the boat, and take us to go fishing. So it became a dream and passion to catch a marlin that big.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Matt Diaz, you've actually got the very hook that was used to catch that. Tell me about, you know, what it was like, and please hold that up so everybody can kind of like see.
This is a marlin, man. Dude, I thought it was gonna be on the biggest lure that I put out, but it happened to be a smaller lure that was out there.
9-inch lure.
Yeah. So I was like, man, we'll just try.
Okay, let me get and kind of like expose like the hook if you can, because that is not. I mean, I hope the camera does that justice. That is not a very, very big hook, and this had a creature that was almost a half-ton.
Mm-hmm. Well, we didn't know the weight until we finally brought it to the boat basin and it was cranked up, and that's when we were like, whoa, that's bigger than what we thought. Mm-hmm. Lucky it didn't pull the hook or snap the line, because as you can see the line, it's already like stretched to the max.
What are you guys gonna do with this lure and this line? Are you gonna frame it? You're gonna like put it on the mantle, or are you gonna use it again?
Yeah,
good luck charm.
We're gonna use it again.
Okay.
If not, we're gonna buy another one if there is any.
I think somebody could go ahead and make that work and everything for you. Okay, Matt Muna, when I mean the name of your team is Fish On. When you guys knew you had something on the line, did you have any idea, like, what was the attitude of the marlin at that point? Was it very aggressive? Was it kind of like, was it playing with you as you were playing with it?
We didn't get any strikes all through the morning. This was our last effort to go out to the wave buoy, and once we reached that point, the alarm went off. It went off, and we probably thought it was a mahi or wahoo, right?
I think.
Wahoo, and then once we started to set the hook, tighten the drag, and then we saw it come out of the water, but we didn't expect 800. We were around the 300, 400 range when we started to fight it. Luckily, Captain Rob was instrumental in driving us and giving us, so every time the fish pulled and peeled the line, he was instrumental in driving and helping us get line back, because it peeled it like dental floss. It was aggressive. It was for 3 hours, man. We were spent. We were done.
That's okay. Now as experienced anglers, and you know, like as pescadores and everything, did you guys have a strategy knowing you were bringing in like a fish that size, and you said, okay, let's not go right at it and be like all hardcore like right away? We have to kind of like, you know, it is a strategy, and it's a tactic.
It is a strategy there. Well, you got to have strategies, and you got to also have experience. I think because of the fact that we communicated as a team, the collaborative effort helped bring this marlin, because there's times where I just said, man, this guy's pulling away. I thought it was gonna be only 45-minute fight or 30-minute fight, but this guy pulled he kind of spooled us about 7 times. And then, so I had to go and chase where the fish is at so that they can reel it in and not actually spool this all the way down. But I think when we had the collaboration, because that's at one point in time, I just tighten the drag and tighten it all the way, right? And then so that it locks them, right? But it was so big that they were saying, they communicated back to me, it's too big. If we tighten it anymore, the line will snap.
Yeah.
If they didn't communicate that with me as an angler, then I as a captain, I would just say, just tighten it. I'm tired of this. But you know, I think our will to just want to catch this, we didn't think about. We were running out of time. I looked at it as I was looking at the time. I was timing it actually. I says, we're 12 miles out to the boat basin. We can only travel maybe with that Marlin on board. Only 7 knots, we wouldn't make it.
That's basically the weight of like 4 full-size crew members.
Yeah.
That you're adding into the boat.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so Matt, tell me about that, because like you guys are so famous now in the sports community on Guam, and you know, like athletes, coaches, fans, everybody supports each other. But you guys did not make the deadline to get the fish in by the Derby for the weigh-in and everything. But when you guys got there and you did it, everybody went nuts.
Yes.
Like, what's the feedback been from the community like so far, and people DMing you, people calling you?
They were like, congrats. Hey, is there any more marlin fish? I'm like, man, we handed it out. But man, the experience, I was in for the experience. I'd rather get in safe than be sorry, because we were like almost about to sink.
We're taking in water.
Yeah, we were
Really?
taking a lot of water.
Yeah. Now, how big is the Chief? And like, how big of a boat is that?
It's a 22-footer.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good size boat.
So we strapped the marlin on the side because, you know, we were like, didn't want the sharks to get to it. So we were just going, and maybe like less than a mile, we started taking in water, a mile. Then we're like, no, you gotta readjust. I was in the back scooping water. I asked him to go to the front, so you know it's more weight to the front. And we just like, oh, dude, we have to figure something out. Then
the water was going literally over the body in the boat, and the bilge couldn't keep up. Pumping the water out as it was coming in.
Okay, now Matt Diaz was just saying, you guys passed out the fish. I mean, some people would say, okay, get me to a taxidermist immediately because I want to hang this up on my wall and everything. What did you guys actually do with the fish?
We after weighing the fish, my Uncle Dom Muna, thank you Uncle Dom for coming down with the trailer and loading it because unfortunately the co-op's not there, and we were just trying to give it away. We were been up since 4 in the morning. I forgot the sandwiches, so we were just snacking. So we were spent, like we were tired. We just wanted to get this done with, and I was just about to settle for a filet fish.
They needed a trailer for you guys too, probably.
Yeah,
just to lie down, right?
They did.
Okay.
So all the family members that helped out, of course, they took, and we just gave it to all the family that was there, and then friends and stuff like that.
That is amazing, and that is emblematic of the Guamanian spirit.
Yeah, it is.
You know, you guys can keep it for yourself, for the glory and for bragging rights and everything like that. But you know, I mean, there are other people that might be able to use it, and you guys do have the memories and the pride. So Rob, what is it? What are you going to take away from this experience, you know, as a sportsman and, you know?
Okay, so one of the things is, like, I've always dreamed of catching a big marlin like this. But
mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. And it's always the enduring spirit that we had as a team, the enduring spirit that we have. But also, what I do take away with this is to be able to inspire other fishermen and people who want to get into the sport too. Sometimes there are those days where you catch fish and there's days you don't catch fish. But one day it's just going to pay off. And that's what I'm taking from it. That you keep dreaming.
All right, Matt Diaz, your final words on what this experience has meant to you. You're still a young guy. You got years and years of fishing ahead of you.
My experience, man, I want to beat this now. I want to go beyond 832 pounds.
There you go. And the Guam record, by the way, for the biggest marlin ever was 1,100 pounds, right?
Yes.
Right, 1152.
Yeah, and that is, of course, the Perez that the Perez fishing derby is named after. That's still a record. Man, 1,100 is really, really tough to beat. All right, Matt Muna, your final thoughts.
Like even though we didn't win the derby, right, and we weren't winners on the board, we are still the people's champ, right? And this is a big takeaway. This is a story of a lifetime, and it's through divine intervention. My dad's usually on the boat. He passed away last year, so I think he kind of guided us. He was the angel on the boat because that line was tight. It was like a guitar string, and the reel was so hot. We kept on have to cool it down with the salt water and play the fish. So somebody was watching over us, not to sink and to land the fish and to get it in so people can see it.
Okay, there's a lot of
believe
Talajeros
it.
watching right now. They're like,
Right.
I hope these guys don't get into like net fishing and everything because they're gonna take over my side. All right, well, have you guys been out since you guys reeled in the Marlin yet?
No,
yeah,
we've taken a
rolling.
break.
Yeah.
So it's been a whole.
Put a lot of icy hot on your shoulders, I would assume. And,
Right.
You have to just say. Actually, we haven't been fishing for about maybe 4 months. That's the last time we fished before we went out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, I mean, maybe there were forces greater than us, like it worked there and everything like that. So obviously, your dad contributed. So
Yes.
Yeah, so Rob, Matt, and Matt, congratulations,
Yes,
man. This
thank
is
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And big ups to the Marlin winner, Mr. Harao, too.
There you
he
go.
got
Yeah.
first place too. So man, congrats to him too.
See, there you go, and very, 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 very humble and very supportive. All right, so gentlemen, thank you. And this is a story that I know people are going to be sharing for years.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you, Guam.
True sportsman right here, the crew of Fish On.